Obviously, we won some one-on-one matchups there, and we're able to move the pocket. I thought offensively we had a good game plan. We just didn't finish, and part of that is the amount of drives that we were having defensively that we couldn't get off the field. We got them to backed up again, and we just didn't make the plays.
Jimmy, the success you see Zevi have tonight, I think it leads a lot to the question of why wasn't he the starter 3 weeks ago?
That's a great question. But it goes back to just the quarterback competition that we had, and I think if you ask him, he'll tell you that he didn't play his best throughout fall camp, and but he's a competitor, and he stepped into the lights tonight and made the most of it, and it was a decision I made, but I do believe that he's going to continue to make plays and grow from the mistakes that he made tonight.
Is there any reason to think he's not your starter moving forward?
No, he'll be the starter. Some of his errors weren't on him either. Yeah.
When you got Devin Ellison back on the field, and obviously there was some momentum plays with him. What did you see from him in his first game in Crimson and Gray?
Yeah, I saw what we thought we saw when we recruited him. And he's been so much better being locked in and committed to the process and doing what he's asked to do the last couple of weeks. Obviously, I would have liked to start the season like that, but it just didn't go in our favor in that sense. But he'll be back, and he needs to stay the course, and he needs to keep growing and mentally learning the scheme, and we need to get him ready for sure.
You talked about Zevi leading in an authentic way, not just to be the starter, but to be a leader. What does that look like day to day?
Well, he's always the first one in here, and he watches a ton of film. He'll be in here tomorrow. I don't even have to question that. He'll just want to keep growing, and he's been like that. It means leading with purpose, not leading to be heard. And he's gotten so much better in that way. He's the guys rally behind him. I felt like he gave us a spark tonight. I think he'll give us a spark in the future. He's a really competitive kid, and he's handled this situation really well, and I'm proud of him. And I know that he'll respond and get the group going in the right direction next week.
One more didn't matter in the grand scheme, but you do the onside kick towards the beginning of the third quarter. What were you looking for in that moment?
Well, we had the look. We didn't execute the kick. Kid was on the hash, and there was about 14 yards, and we'd executed it all week, and we felt like we had it, and that was a freshman that was out there. He's a good player. But if we kick it a little bit wider and flatter, we make that play. And then it's not seen as what it is right now. So I knew we had to be aggressive, and I knew that we needed to keep our offense on the field because the way we were moving the ball, obviously, to come out of half like that and then march down the field with some big plays and score. I didn't want to look back at this and second-guess that opportunity when it was there for the initial 3 kickoffs. And it just didn't work out. And that's the game of football, and I got to own it, and it's on me, and we'll move forward.
Times in the second half you were able to cut it down to a one-possession game. Is this a game that you felt like you were only a couple of plays away versus what the final score might say to somebody who didn't watch this game?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really believe in moral victories. You gotta, we talk about finishing, and we gotta finish the game. I mean, the score got away from us. So in the end, we got to be able to execute for 4 quarters. The game isn't 3.5 quarters. It's not 3 quarters. It's 4 quarters. It's 60 minutes, and we got to execute, and we got to win close games. We got to grow as a team, and I believe that we have the good enough leadership to bounce back from this. Obviously, some injuries will limit us in some capacity of how we practice, but I just, I know the team knows that they're better than what we've been playing like, and we just got to continue to chop at the bit to keep coming closer and closer together.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach. Thank you.
Eight touchdowns, I think, and 1 field goal. So I'm proud of our guys. I thought they did a great job executing. Damon is sensational. I think a lot of the country saw what Damon can do today, being a national game, and we'll see what it looks like in the future. But he's super special, and I can't wait to see him keep getting better.
Do you feel any vindication for this, considering how last year went?
No, it's a different team, different year, different everything. This team is a really good team. You guys have asked for a year, how do you win on the road? You bring the better team, you bring a good team. We brought a good team on the road today, and that's why it looked the way it did.
With Demond, he makes so many plays that are improbable, and I think he probably has that confidence that he can make every play. I'm just wondering for you, where's the line with him?
Yeah, I think, just like any other quarterback would, I feel like just trying to, do the best you can with your team, inspire them as much as you can with whatever your role is, and obviously just wait, for an opportunity that presents itself. And that's what I tried to do, for the first 3 weeks. Got the opportunity against UNT. We had a nice drive. We got down, scored. Just trying to motivate myself and motivate those with as much as I could.
Coach Rogers says that he's seen your leadership style grow, not just to be the starting quarterback, but to be a true leader, and just with the example of you coming in for film and all those things. What's your approach to leadership, and how do you think you've seen your leadership grow from maybe August 1st to now?
Yeah, I think just trying to find new ways to inspire people. And I think that's the biggest thing with leadership. Every year there's going to be new opportunities to present, leadership. And I think for me, it's just continuing to find ways to grow and becoming a better leader, every day. I don't think you ever stop, growing in that asset. So just trying to find new ways to inspire people and motivate people.
Kind of on the same leadership topic, what have your conversations kind of been like with Jackson? Obviously, I'm sure he's disappointed that wasn't starting, but he talked a lot about how supportive you were when the reverse was named. What have you guys kind of talked about, or have you kind of maybe tried to tell him to keep his head up and so on? Yeah,
I don't think anything has changed from our friendship. Jackson's been one of my biggest friends, since I've gotten here. Obviously, we had a quarterback battle, and it gets competitive on the field, but off the field, it's one of my best friends. When he was out there, I was his biggest fan, supporting him as much as I could, and the same vice versa. When I was out there, he was inspiring me and trying to get me to go as much as he could. So he does a great job with everything that he does, whether it's on the field, off the field. It's the reason why he's one of my friends. I just love who he is as a person, and I don't expect that to change from him.
Coach Rogers said a couple times, including just a few minutes ago, that you'd be the first to say that your fall camp performance maybe wasn't what you expected it or wanted it to be, and that kind of went into the original decision. Just kind of when you look back at that fall camp and kind of to where you're at now, how much do you feel like you've been able to grow to where you feel like you're a better player and in a better spot than you were just a few weeks ago?
Yeah, significantly. I think that, whatever it was in fall camp, maybe I was pushing too hard or pressing too hard or just trying to do too much, or maybe I wasn't doing enough. I don't know. It was probably a culmination of things, but I think the biggest thing for me is just trying to find ways to grow within this offense and be the best player that I can be for this offense. I think that, obviously I've been able to do that, and that's why Coach Rogers, trusted me with, going out and starting this week. So I don't think that ends either. I think that, we still have to find, more ways to score more points, and there are ways that I can, contribute to this team more. I mean, 2 interceptions is we're not gonna win games like that, and I got to play better. So just finding ways to get better every week.
Coach Rogers told us that he named you the starter on Sunday. How did you find out about that?
Just a one-on-one conversation with him.
Okay. What was kind of your reaction?
Obviously excited for the opportunity, don't make it more than what it is, just go out there and have fun.
As this one kind of unfolds and UW is, obviously scoring on every drive, what's going through your mind? Do you feel any pressure to kind of, produce, to kind of, keep pace with them?
No, I'm just going out there trying to do my job. You start looking at the scoreboard, you get caught up in the wrong things. So for me, I was just, trying to lead my team as much as I could, reminding them that we just got to win every single play. Don't worry about the outcome. Don't worry about the scoreboard. Just do your job.
One, what did it mean to you to now, join the family of starting quarterbacks in the Apple Cup for the Cougs? And 2, what's the emotions of coming up on the short side tonight?
I'm super grateful, to be able to go out there and represent, such a historic and iconic brand. It's tough. I mean, it's tough. Every game's important, but this one's important. And I feel like I let the guys down a little bit. I don't think that I played my best ball. And sure, some things could have gone differently, but it hurts. It definitely hurts, and I wish I could have a couple plays back, but we got to keep moving forward.
What do you think you did well tonight?
I thought I just tried to instill confidence and just be a leader out there. I think that was the biggest thing for me. Just trying to be a leader to those guys and motivate them as much as I could, and just keep reminding them that, like, we're in this, like we can win this game. That was the biggest piece for me. I just wanted to go out there and lead a team. I've never started a game in Washington State. I've never started a game at Gisa Field. So to be able to do that, I just wanted to show those guys that I can run the ship, and as long as they're with me, we can do whatever we want.
So with Devin Ellison making his Cougar debut today, he had 52 yards. What's it kind of mean to you to have that extra weapon on offense?
It was awesome. Devin and I have had a lot of conversations about this season, and to see him go out there and make those plays was awesome. He had that big catch down their sideline. Obviously, he had the dig coming across, and then he had the touchdown. Just seeing him get into the end zone was awesome. I feel like him and I have talked about that a lot. Just to see him go out there and do that was really special. And I hope that he takes that confidence into the coming weeks.
And then with a loss in this rivalry matchup, how does that maybe motivate you going into next week?
I mean, we just got to play better football. We got to play better football. We got to practice better. We got to keep pushing the urgency. The game's over. We got to start moving forward and start looking at what's ahead of us, and just put our attention and focus over there.
When you think about your journey since you got here, transferring in, battling with John, starting the bowl game, battling again, does it feel like a full circle moment, or is it too raw right now, too close to game time?
Yeah, I don't know. I just try to live in the moment. I don't try to look back at things that happened in the past. I think that everything that's happened in the past has made me the person I am today, but I try not to connect too much to this or that. Like I said, I just want to help this team win football games.
You ran the ball 10 times tonight. It was the most on the team. I mean, how do you guys kind of get this running game kick-started, and what did you see out there that maybe hindered you guys running the football a little bit tonight?
I'm not sure. I couldn't answer that right now. I'd have to watch the film. But obviously that's gonna have to continue to be a point of emphasis, because we got to run the football. We have too good of backs. We have too good of an O-line to not put up more yards rushing. So I couldn't tell you the answer right now, but I just know we're going to work on it.
Thanks, Zebby. Thanks, Zebby.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you.
I'm straight. I'm good.
Jed mentioned before that you guys talked about the locker room last year, how it felt to lose this game. How does it feel now to be on the other side?
It feels great for sure. I mean, every win, feels great, but especially against your rival, and offense having a really dominant game, and just trying to keep it rolling.
Your offense reset really fast after you got dumped on the first play for a sack. You're in the end zone like 8 plays later, I think. Does that just show how high-powered you guys are and what you're capable of doing?
Yeah, I mean, I would just say that shows just all resiliency. As an offense, nobody wavered. Nobody batted an eye of a negative play, especially on the first play. The next play we had a 20-yard reception. So I would just say, it's just us as an offense just continuing to succeed.
Right, gonna bring Alex up in here.
What did you see from their defense on film that you guys wanted to attack today?
Yeah, I mean, we knew they played a soft zone, and we were going to try to get it out of them quick. And I feel like we took a lot of early shots, and that definitely helped them, soften up, scoot back a little bit more, and that opened up opportunities for, the quarterback run game, our run game in general, and especially the checkdowns. To Jonah, I mean, you saw him have 100 receiving yards. That just shows how much of a complete back he is and how the O-line responded.
Devon, you've been able to kind of create and improvise so successfully, I'm assuming probably your whole life, and I'm just wondering, how do you feel where the line is between trying to extend plays and getting down and protecting yourself? Where is that line for you?
Yeah, for me, it really just depends on down and distance. A lot of the time, you're trying to make plays on third down, extend drives, or, if it's base downs, first, second down, you're trying to, just get the ball out. So I would say, it just depends on the situation and continue to try to move forward every down.
Damon, what was your favorite play tonight?
All of them, honestly. I would say just as a whole offense, I feel like we played really well, and there's obviously stuff we got to work on, especially in the first half, and continuing to address that. as a team, it's going to be super important moving forward.
Give me one.
Probably the touchdown run. Just got like my celebration.
Alex, could you talk about the interception return?
I was guarding my man. I looked up and I saw the ball and I saw nothing but green, so I just ran straight and scored.
Alex, what's your perspective on, you've defended Demond a lot in practice and just seeing kind of what he brings to the table. What's that like from a defensive perspective? How would you describe that?
I grew up watching Demond. We're from the same area. I played him in high school, so I know what he's about. I know how much of a baller he is, so it's just great to see him do his thing because I've known him since he was a kid. So,
Demond, could you just kind of walk us through the
I think it's just momentum, and unfortunately, those things happened, and that's just kind of how football goes.
And what did you see from Jonah Coleman, who had 104 yards there for UW? What was kind of maybe difficult to handle with him?
Yeah, he was a good player. I think tackling, including me, just didn't tackle very well.
Parker, your sack there was the only third down stop you guys had all day. Just why was it so difficult for you guys to get off the field on third down, do you think?
I think really just comes down to execution and doing our jobs. And me personally, I didn't do a great job doing that. So, just execution.
And then, obviously Williams had a couple big runs where he was just able to, off script run through you guys. I guess on plays like that, just how difficult is it to, you guys have great coverage down the field, but then he's able to get loose?
Yeah, and that's something we talked about all week was him scrambling around. So we prepared for it, and we just didn't do a great job containing him. So,
Just what makes Coleman such a tough cover on the ground?
What was it?
Coleman. What makes him, kind of a tough cover on the ground?
Like running the ball, you're saying? I would say really his center of gravity, and just he's kind of just short and stocky, and he'll bounce off you if you don't tackle him low. So.
End of the third quarter, you guys obviously are behind by 7. What was kind of the attitude, the mentality going into the fourth quarter, knowing that you guys were, maybe projected to be such underdogs, but we're so close? And what kind of first question, but what was the mentality in that moment?
I think we were playing how we knew we could play, and we weren't even really playing great football, and we were still within 7 points. So it just kind of shows what we can do as a team. We were in the game, and we were.
What strides do you think this defense has taken from week 1 to now, and where do you want to go? Where's your focus next?
I think as a defense, we want to be the best defense in the nation, and I think we have taken strides, like you said, but I think today we didn't execute as well as we should have, and that's also me. A lot of things I didn't do right, so.
Parker, for you guys, what do you think's been kind of giving you trouble with mobile quarterbacks? Williams today and then Wood against Idaho. Is there something that just you guys can't seem to solve right now?
Honestly, I'd probably just say tackling.
Go ahead, Jamie. All right. You've now experienced both sides of an Apple Cup result. Just kind of what are you feeling? Can you sum up the emotions that are with you and in that locker room right now?
It's disappointing, obviously, especially being as close as we were, and then having that final score be what it was. It didn't really represent how the game was, but it stings. It stings a little bit.
Mentioned how much Zevi had shown leadership all throughout camp and through the first couple weeks of the season, and ultimately got him the start. Going against him in practice, what did you see from him that maybe led to him getting the nod tonight and having some success out there on the field?
Yeah, I think Zevi, I think his thing, he just kept going. Obviously, he didn't. He wasn't starting the first few games, and he went about it the right way. He's put his head down and kept working, and got his opportunity. All right, thank you, guys.
Yes.
Josh, just kind of, it felt like through 3.5 or 2.5, 3 quarters, you guys were right there, 7-point game, and suddenly kind of gets out of hand in the fourth quarter. Where do you feel like it kind of started to go wrong to where it's, 59-24 when it was 31-24 at one point?
I think we took a gamble coming out of half and kicking that onside. We'll see on film. From my point of view, it looked like we could have got it for a moment. So just putting the defense in, or their offense in good field position always hurts the team. It hurt us last week and hurt us this week.
What did you see from Zevi tonight, and how much can that kind of propel you guys moving forward?
For me, Zevi, he came into this game really confident. He's a guy that struts around, knowing what he wants to do, knows how to lead a team, natural-born leader to me. And you saw when the tempo was going, it looked like, UW had no response to us. We marched down the field like it was nothing. I feel like we could have done that all night.
What's the feeling in the locker room right now?
It's pretty empty. I went to go talk to my folks for a little bit, so I got back in there. Wasn't really people in there. The people that were in there weren't really talking. A loss like that sucks. Not too many guys know the true meaning about that game, but it still hurt everyone. But it's one of those ones you got to just take on the chin.
You use it to move forward, try and get better from it.
I think we showed a glimpse on offense about who we could be, and we just need to build on that. Come Colorado State, we get to go to their territory. We know away games are always harder. But I don't think our receiver room is getting respected as much as it needs to be, and we're going to continue to show that.
Josh, how would you describe what Zevi was like tonight in the huddle, on the field, kind of interacting with you guys?
Like I said earlier, he knows everything about that offense. If we have a hard play call right there in the huddle, he's going to make sure everyone's all right. It sucks because he put on a good show, but the stats aren't going to really show that to the complete truth. There's not another QB that I'd rather go into a game and have war with. So people need to, believe in him because I know the team does.
What do you think he did tonight that's not going to show up on that stat sheet that is important for you guys to have success offensively?
The plays that just hurt us, the negative plays, we're just going to fix those.
So you had Devin Ellison with you guys for the first time this year. What's it kind of mean to you to have that extra weapon on offense?
That's definitely a guy I would like to line up next to as much as I can. I think with him on the field, me on the field, T-Free on the field, and all those other guys, you can't guard us all. He stretches the field, as you guys can see. He caught 2 deep ones today, and that's kind of who he is as a receiver. So we need that.
Yeah, and then Alex McLaughlin for UW had the 2 picks tonight. What kind of about the defense as a whole for UW kind of made it hard for you guys to drive downfield?
Not a damn thing. No, they're good, but we came to this game thinking they were going to play man the whole game. They dropped into a bunch of zones. I think they respected us, so they had to put a Band-Aid on it. But good for him. I hope they show out next week too.
There was times where this offense looked unstoppable, and you said, you felt like you could have done that all night. And when you're within 7 points, that late in the game, what was the mindset? What was the feeling like? And then what went wrong? And how can you take that as a lesson going forward?
We understood that their offense was a hell of an offense. They had weapons everywhere. That QB, shout out to him. Looked like Kyle Murray out there. So we knew it was going to be a shootout to a certain extent, and we knew that we're going to score, they're going to score, and we had to believe that our defense was going to get a stop, and it did come. And we didn't jump on the opportunity to go out there and tie the ball game up. But, stuff happens.
Devin Ellison obviously plays his first game. What did you see from your teammate across the field?
Dev's my boy. Where he come from is different, but he knows how to play ball, and we're just a bunch of ball players out there. So he just adds a weapon to the weaponry.
Good. Josh.